seems that ghostly tales and encounters are common and filled with projections of human behavior because many of them believe that the spirits were once human. The spirit of an unrested mother looking for her child, a ghost child looking for his or her mother. So, are these characteristics true of the spirits or imputed human behaviors onto unseen beings? In this episode, follow me as I take you to explore the ghostly realms of Java in Yogyakarta, Indonesia, to understand how the belief in ghosts influences the way the Javanese live their lives. What is the significance of ghost stories in a community? Is it to create fear or something deeper and more meaningful about life, cultures, and communities?
One evening at about 7 o'clock, my friends and I saw a Kuntilanak flew into our house through the front door. It came near us and then went to the kitchen. Finally, it flew upstairs into a room. It looked normal, like a woman wearing white. Her face was not scary. She had long hair and did not harm us. But I have been seeing ghosts and spirits since I was young, so I'm not scared. However, my friends were frightened.
The ghostly encounters shared by Ibu Anis are common for those who claim they have the abilities to see, sense, and maybe even communicate with the unseen. What about normal people who can't see, sense, or feel the presence of ghosts, but were told that they exist? What is the significance of their belief of ghosts? In the course of my research, I was introduced to Pak Vishnu, who was spooked while driving a group of tourists uphill on the western side of Mount Merapi late at night, which is said to be haunted. Although he has never seen a ghost, this experience was enough to convince him of their existence.
All of a sudden, while driving uphill, my assistant screamed, "Stop! Stop!" And he pointed outside the window saying there was a funeral procession and I was driving directly into them. He said they were carrying a dead body while I didn't see anything. My passengers were shocked and I had to continue driving because we were at a slope. My assistant's face turned pale as he hid under the dashboard. I could tell he saw something because he was really frightened.
After listening to some local stories of Yogyakarta, I have met with Mas Agong, a researcher who could probably explain a little more regarding their belief in ghosts and spirits.
To the Javanese, it can be said that we have many understanding about ghosts. For example, there will always be columns featuring ghost stories in the local newspapers and magazines. In Java, we are really close to the belief of ghosts, such as Gendrowo, Wewe, or Toyo, or Peri. We are all familiar with them and their stories and how to live in harmony with them. The worlds of man and spirits coexist together.
So far, I have come across stories about ghosts and spirits that seem to be wrapped up in local myths and folktales. But behind them, we do see legitimate spiritual laws and ethics that support the belief in ghosts. The investigations on how the belief in ghosts can influence and affect the worldview of the Javanese becomes more intriguing as I visit a location that is said to be haunted by child spirits. Let's find out about this building.
I started working here in November 2014. During the first week of work, I felt there was something strange about the last room of this building, which I was afraid to enter. But when I was forced to go into the room to work, I saw two child spirits that came near me. When I was doing some typing, I felt someone was constantly watching me.
In the past, a miscarried baby is believed to be not old enough to be given a full funeral and the parents will bury them anywhere, especially under a tree in their home compound. So when they sell the house or the land, the baby spirit is left behind without care, offerings, and prayers. This child spirit will then disturb the new owners.
The Javanese believes that life already started before birth. That is why pregnant Javanese women will perform ceremonies, and also right before delivery, rituals will be observed to appreciate the birth of life. Therefore, stories about child spirits are common, but they are based on personal experiences that at times can be hard to prove.
Folk beliefs, myths and tradition are a rich ploughing field for the culture of ghosts and spirits to grow and shape the worldviews of the Javanese. I am going to meet with Pak Sabdo, a mystic and healer, to ask him about relationships with ghosts from the context of the Java community. As a spiritualist, what is your views on ghosts and spirits?
From the point of view of a spiritualist, there are two types of ghosts. Firstly, ghosts that are known as a class of beings, like a species of animals. In Indonesia, there are creatures like the Kuntilanak and the Genderuwo. And another type of ghosts refer to the unseen beings that were once humans, but upon death, because of some issues of karma, their spirits are still here on earth and have not moved on. Metaphysical and spiritual knowledge that relates to ghosts is logical and can be explained. But most people assume the worst because they have no information. That's why I want to share and teach people the truth.
What is that significance of ghosts and spirits in a community like Java?
The physical and the invisible realms where ghosts belong are not separated. There is an overlap, and at times we can see them. We do not need to be afraid of ghosts because not all ghosts will harm humans, but we have to be cautious and wary. There are some ghosts that are keen to make friends with humans and do not reject our presence, like the Genderuwo, for example. Treat these ghosts well, like how we treat humans. When we show love and respect, they will also show us love. So long as mankind does not disturb and insult these beings, we can live together in harmony. This happens when we have ethics and are courteous to these beings we call ghosts.
After talking to Pak Sabdo and understanding more about the belief of ghosts in Java, I have also met a lady named Chupu Manik and her husband who allows spirits to take possession of her body. What will we uncover as we open up this forbidden chest?
Sometimes it's a young woman. Sometimes it's an old person that could be a man or woman. I am usually possessed when I am depressed. I will faint and not remember anything after that. But my husband remembers what happened to me. He said I was possessed by spirits, but I have no memory of it. However, after that I will feel pain in some parts of my body and a great loss of energy.
Since there is a consistency in you being possessed, is it the same being that enters you?
I don't know for sure because I can't remember, but my husband told me that there are different spirits. Sometimes it's a young woman. Sometimes it's an old person that could be a man or woman.
Whenever the spirit possesses my wife, her behavior changes. For example, if she was angry before being possessed, she will be quiet and won't talk, and her eyes and face will turn red. If I ask her anything, she would answer only with some gesture and short sentences. Normally, she would tie her hair up, but when the spirit is in her body, she would start combing her hair and she spoke in a completely different accent. Initially, I was afraid, but as time goes by, I got used to it and even started talking to the spirits. In my opinion, the young woman's spirit is less frightening than an old man or old woman, but still is scary. It is not my wife, it is somebody else.
Do you notice any changes in you, as in you have certain abilities that you didn't have before 2006?
So after the earthquake and when the possession began, strange things started to happen to me. I could see or I could know when somebody would die, or when my friends would meet with accidents. I could tell the future. It was positive and yet scary at the same time. I don't want to be possessed actually, because it disrupts my health, but I do want to help people with my gifts. It is precious, but I may not know how.
In my heart of hearts, I sincerely feel that Cupu Manik may require some guidance from a spiritual master who could help her understand her situations. Therefore, I have tried to arrange for a meeting between Cupu Manik and Pak Sabdo. What will happen in this meeting?
We must first find and recognize our inner master, that is our inner strength. This is important, as this gives us stability when we do spiritual work. There are many invisible entities like spirits that can come to us when we start our spiritual practice. And if our inner strength or our own inner master is not strong, we can be disturbed and become easily tired.
Pak Sabdo has suggested that for Cupu Manik to meditate and to connect with her inner master, and he will guide her through a cleansing process in removing any negative energy that is in her body. What will happen after this?
Nangis saja, nek mau nangis tidak apa-apa, ditumpahkan semua kesedihannya, tapi setelah itu kesedihan tidak ada lagi. Megang punggungnya, ditahan. Ya. Ada lagi yang mau menyampaikan, monggo.
I can feel. My head can see.
If she was angry before being possessed, she would be quiet and won't talk, and her eyes and face will turn red.
Ada lagi yang mau menyampaikan, monggo. Air. Itu. Ini aja, buka. Keluarkan semua. Buka mata. Selesai buka mata.
How are you feeling now?
I don't feel so tired, and the body ache have stopped. I feel much better now.
Ya.
When Chupu Manik first arrived at Pak Sabdo's place, she appeared lethargic and disheartened. After the healing process by Pak Sabdo, she seemed to be happier and brighter, as if a burden had been lifted off her. She even wanted her children to meet Pak Sabdo. Would learning more from Pak Sabdo help Chupu Manik to handle her possessions better and also to enhance her psychic gifts? To understand better the belief of the existence of ghosts in Java, I have asked Pak Sabdo to bring my team and I to locations that are said to be haunted by spirits, and to see if we are able to have any form of communication with them. What occurred later may illustrate the Javanese acceptance about their relationships with ghosts and spirits.
I have arrived here in Gunung Kelir with Pak Sabdo and his team. At this location, we will explore two places with an interconnection with a tragic love story and an art called Wayang Kulit. With the rituals that will be performed tonight, let's see if we will connect with the beings of the unseen realm.
We are at Gunung Kelir, Bantul, known as Istana Mati or the Palace of Death. These tombs were built in 1668 during the reign of King Amangkurat I as the burial spot of the beautiful Queen Ratu Mas Malang, her lay husband, a powerful healer and Wayang Kulit expert, Ki Dalang Panjang Mas, and a group of Wayang Kulit musicians. The king murdered Ki Dalang and married his wife Mas Malang. Not long after, Mas Malang was also killed by the other jealous wives of the king.
As you can see, it's raining and it's dark and it's kind of chilly too. I'm over here. I've arrived at Antakapura, which means the Palace of Death. This is where the souls of two torn apart unite again. Are they still here?
As it is standard practice of the paranormal zone to ask for permission whenever we investigate a location that is deemed to be haunted, I was doing the same at the tomb of Ratu Mas Malang. When we reviewed the footage, it seemed to have recorded an EVP or a ghost voice that said "ya, ya," as confirmed by our expert researchers. Was it really a spirit who spoke to us? Perhaps it was giving us permission to film at the location that night. The tone and quality of the voice was quite strange, as it sounded light and transient, unlike that of a human or animal. What do you think?
I can feel. My head can see, not my eye. You understand what I mean? My head can see, not my eye. So, I hope the camera pick up. When we go back, we will check. It's a cold, do you get a cold breeze? Okay. From there?
Dari sebelah sana, sebelah sana.
Blowing this way?
Iya, mengarah ke sini. Iya, mengarah ke sini.
Bagian bawah.
This is a sacred box that Ki Dalang used to keep his Wayang Kulit. In the olden days, Wayang Kulit was made of human skin. There are spirits involved because the characters portrayed are deities, devas, and powerful ancient people that have long passed away.
Pak Sabdo finally brought us to the cemetery of Ki Dalang and his musicians, which is a place that many people come to pay respect and ask for blessings, as they feel that the spirit of the great Dalang is still around. Offerings, chanting and prayers were made to the spirits and unseen residents of the area by Pak Sabdo and his disciples. But something unexpected happened when Pak Sabdo got up and walked towards the tomb to present some sacred items like flowers. A group of spirit ops swept down from the top right corner of the tree as if to receive the items and slowly disperse. They behaved like intelligent beings and not just a gust of dust particles or rain droplets blown by the wind at random. My question remains, what or who were these spirit ops? Were they once humans or were they nature spirits that inhabit that area? As a paranormal investigator, I would say that we had a productive expedition to Gunung Kelir together with Pak Sabdo, as I have personally experienced the Javanese world of ghosts and spirits. Were they real? Did we record a ghost voice and receive evidence of spirit orbs, or were they just technical glitches of the cameras? We may or may not be able to prove the physical existence of ghosts, but we have surely seen how the belief in ghosts actually motivates the thoughts, behavior, understanding, and environment of the Javanese community. Personally, I find it quite unique and very interesting how, in the Javanese culture and in some of the communities, they accept spirits and ghosts quite naturally.
Spirit possession has encouraged me to give her more attention and to love her more.
Ini aja, buka.
And sometimes I look at those virtues, the way they treat the unseen. Perhaps it's also something that we should treat the people that we do see. Like I always say, what we see may not be real, and what is real we may not see.